The role of relationships in becoming your best self. No, not that person's self or that person's self. Your best self. This morning, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, the only morning show for men to get their ass out of bed and not hit the snooze button. Let's get after it this morning, right now on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where
when something negative comes up,
building muscle repeat, blood flow.
Nobody is expecting, John.
if the lady's saying that, you're just
It's a super
Be entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep been good? Is that
There we go, baby. Amy coming to you live. Yeah, am I stuttering away there, Jimmy? I don't know why the hell I'm stuttering right now. It was working when we started this thing. Hey, what's going after, nation? yeah. Jimmy's like, yeah, you're stuttering right now. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to we're gonna do that right there and keep that going right there. There we go. What's up, everybody? I'm your host. I'm Keith Billis. I'm the host of Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Listen, I had this thing going right off the bat here before the show started. We hit the record button, and all of a sudden, things go a little stuttery. So we're going to get that set up for you guys this morning here. We're talking the role of best relationships in becoming your best self this morning in the lab. Live from the Gaza Strip. No, not actually. Live from my basement in Canada, here in the sunny parts of North America, the non-51st state of Canada. There we go. Jimmy, let's bring in the boys right now while I get myself non-stuttering. I have no idea why, because I did a little test this morning. Boys, I did a test this morning before the show started, and I now seem to have the stutter effect on the screen this morning. What's going up, Mr. J.A.? How are you, pal?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Yeah, I had a good night's sleep, feeling on top of my shit,
Nice.
top of my game.
I like that. Why was your sleep so good last night, Mr. Andersen?
I wouldn't say it was better than normal. It was just back to the way it should be. You know, my sleep is, sleep is a focus for me. So I keep my sleep in a high regard. It's when I don't have a good night's sleep, when something happens, like when, if Terry's not sleeping because she was in pain and I don't sleep well, that's really that's the difference. So I should say good. I should have said I had a normal night's sleep is what I should have said.
The normal night's sleep. The word normal is
normal for me is good.
Yes. The word normal is a funny word, right? Because what does normal actually mean? Normal to who? Normal to you, normal to the guy over there, normal to your world. It's normal, I think, to your own world is really what we're talking about, isn't it?
Brother, the craziest thing, I've helped so many people lose like, I don't know, 60, 70, 800 pounds, right?
Yeah.
What they all, shouldn't say all, the majority of these people will say, I just want to live a normal life, and I'm like, okay, but let's remember the life you were living was pretty close to normal, and look where it ended you up. Do you really want to live a normal life, or do you want to live a life that actually allows you to get better every year rather than worse every year? Because a normal life takes people slowly backwards.
Yeah, well, it's yes. And we get into a habit of normalcy, and that normalcy becomes what it is. And we don't know what's different from what we're used to, right? We just do what we've been doing forever. And that's what absolutely happens, right?
Well, in the idea of wanting to be normal, like it's just wanting to kind of like, I get it. The guy that's 80 pounds overweight wants to just be 20 pounds overweight, right?
Yes.
But I think what's missed is living normal will lead you back, get you worse every year.
Living normal. Yes, because you're not moving forward. Actually,
Yeah,
you're
your
largely-
normal is slowly moving backwards, and slow is probably a friendly term because, you know, Jesus Christ, you look at the average dude, the difference between 40 and 50, he's fucking like slipped off the edge, man. You know?
Oh man, now you think about that, right? I think about when I was hitting my 38s to 40s, and now you're thinking about you going your 48s to your 50s. Man, that slippery slope from normal to going sideways to, you know, and then the what's that, Jimmy? It's all in your audio and all good with your sound. Good, yeah. It's the idea of I find the idea of normal fascinating because we wake up as time goes by, we're 50, 60, 70, and life has passed us by. And we may not have achieved some crazy things we've wanted to achieve in life. You know what I'm saying?
I think the last time, I agree with you 100%. The last time I wanted to be normal, I was probably my late teens. By the time I was 18, I realized I want to be different than normal, you know, and I was very clear on being extraordinary. I just didn't know exactly what I was going to be doing.
How do you talk about normalcy with your girls?
You know, it's really honestly a conversation never came up. I think they kind of understood that because I used to tell them, I said, look,
normal.
I would tell them from the jump, say, look, pressure creates character.
Yeah.
My job is to put you under enough pressure that your character develops, but not so much that it actually keeps your character from developing. And you know, that's like I would tell them from the time I was young, you're really young. Like they never understood. I say, look, don't let life choose you. You must choose your life. You know, meaning that if you don't fucking go get it, next thing you know, life's got you by the fucking short and curlies. You're driving to a job you don't want to go to. You're stuck in this fucking rat race, and most people feel like there's no way out. When there is, it just fucking sucks to get out.
That's it. Good morning, Clody. I see you there in the comments. Good morning, Obscure Ninja. I see you there in the comments as well. The Obscure Ninja, I think I know who you are in real life. I think I know who that person is, Johnny. I think that
is that a good or a bad thing? I think I know who you are. It's like, God, I really like this guy. You son of a bitch, you know.
I see you through your mask, Obscure Ninja. I see you through your mask.
So who do you think? Let's see. Let's tell Obscure Ninja who you think he is. Let's see if he'll confirm it for us.
I think Obscure Ninja is. I just lost my browser connection here. I
can still hear you though.
Yeah, I think Obscure Ninja is our friend Mike Smart. That's who I think it is, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's moving incognito, huh?
I think so. Yeah, I think he may carry a few different. Personalities to the table here. So,
what is it that makes you connect the dots? Is it the way that he writes stuff, the way he talks?
Well, yeah. You know how you can just kind of tell with somebody with their words, with the way they present themselves, and even just I don't know. I'm suspecting that it's our friend Mike Smart. Right or wrong?
You're totally correct. Like with me, I always use ... That's separating thoughts when I'm writing stuff. You know what I mean? Especially on a text. If I'm, I'll say one thing ... another thing, which tells you, hey, I'm moving on to my next thought. Because you get these people that write this one run-on sentence with 4 topics. Well, what the fuck's he talking about?
Yes.
You switch topics on me. You didn't let me know, so you can look at the way someone writes and you can pick that shit out pretty easily.
Oh, absolutely. You can. I agree with you. And the Obscure Ninja's like, no, it's not me. That's okay. Listen, it's okay that if it's not you, or it's okay that if it is you. I just find it humorous that I think I thought that maybe you were somebody in our circle that likes to hang out with us here on the show. So I'm just doing a little reset here, Johnny, as I get myself going here into a different browser while I get this. Man, we for some reason, I after the show yesterday, I spent some time down here making sure it was all going to be good. And then I got Ninja's still obscure. Yes, that's funny. Ninja's like, oh no, I think they found me out. No, I don't think we have found you out, my friend. I think that you're still who you are. Let's see here. I'm gonna get this in here. Oh my god. Are you asking me to do all this verification stuff here? Holy smokers. Okay. Well, listen, let's just get out of there, And I'm going to do this here. I'm going to do a quick little, Johnny, take a second to tell a little nation about your day here today. I'll be back in 1 second here, brother. Hang tight.
My day. Well, what am I got going today? I've got another amazing day. And when I say amazing, I think here's the thing. People tend, and we had people come on the show. Actually, Christina Flynn used to say, the rhythm was boring, right? Having patterns and rhythms are boring. Well, here's the thing. If that's the way you feel, it means you're doing it wrong. Because when you have rhythms and patterns and habits in your life, you become very good at what you're doing. And when you become very good at something, you become motivated to do more. So it starts with the discipline of doing the little things. The little things actually turn into bigger things. The bigger things are a hell of a lot of fun. And when you're having fun, you want to do more. And guess what falls into that, the end of that train of thought? Motivation. Motivation is slippery if you just want to watch a video to be motivated. No, discipline is the foundation to do the little shit, even when you don't want to do it. Do you get that success? And when you have success, bam, there's your motivation.
Yeah. Do you find as you get a little older in life that do you find life more boring or more exciting?
That's a great question. I mean, I don't know that I'm a good one to ask for that because, my life's gone so many different directions. But I would say when it comes down to it for me, I would say that my life fucking been highly exciting from fucking jump, from probably once I turned an adult, once I actually got started with my purpose. And since then, I'm kind of like a chameleon. I just keep changing, reinventing myself to keep in this really fun, amazing, challenging space. And life just continues on moving forward with, different chapters and different challenges and different things that are fun for me to do.
I find it, I certainly don't find it boring. I find it quite intriguing. And then I find it interesting as we watch our kids aging around us, right? And them hitting new milestones and new chapters in their lives, right? Like, it's funny, Johnny, like the light went on for me yesterday, man. Like, holy fuck, my son's 18. So like he's now an official. Well, so and because you have some daughters that are older too, but he's now like the official quote unquote adult. So I said to him last night, I'm like, hey, what's shaking, adult? In other words, okay, my responsibilities are done, Johnny. You're no longer my.
But you know what, brother? I thought that same fucking thing. And you're gonna have a few more years because now as an adult, there's gonna be. So you've done a great job with helping him solve the problems in his life up to this point.
Yes.
But now he's going into a new territory where he's going to still need some pretty severe guidance with the new set of challenges that are in front of him. I found that it was probably at 22, 23 was when all of a sudden, holy shit, she's handling her shit, in a way where she doesn't need my help. And that's where you kind of figure out. Because here's the thing, we know as parents, you're either going to put your work in up front, or you're going to put your work in down the road. You're going to put your work in one place or the next.
Yes.
That's right, baby.
Yeah. Good morning, Marty. What's shaking, brother?
Hey, man, you still going to be a parent. Because if you think I'm not still at mom's house at 31, about to be 32 next week, asking for paper towels, chicken that she don't want, protein snacks, all of that.
Brother, when someone is living in their parents' basements, the parents have allowed that to happen.
Oh, well, I'm not in my mom's basement.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that people, it's like, brother, come on. I don't fucking know that. Are you out of your mind? I would never think that about you. Jesus Christ. I'm just talking about in general. You get these parents, he's just having a hard time getting started in life. Well, quit fucking wiping his ass. Make him wipe his own ass and he'll figure it out.
I agree 1,000%.
they're coddling that shit. The parents are allowing that to happen, and they're fucking robbing their kids' futures.
Marty, do you find yourself still shopping in mom's pantry?
Oh yeah, I'm over there. I was just over there on Sunday. I said, let me get that, let me get that, let me get that. She said, you gonna replace it? I said, yeah, I'm not gonna replace it.
Oh man, of course not, right? Of course
Of
not.
course not. Well, for what?
Oh, that's pretty good. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Adam. Good morning, Liz. I see you there. I'm having a little bit of issues with my browser this morning for some reason. It was the funny thing is, Marty, it was all great before the show, and then all of a sudden I hit record, and now it's acting like it's being a tool here this morning. So when things just want to be a tool, you're just like, why are you being a tool right now?
Yeah, man, that's annoying.
You know. How was your day yesterday, Marty?
I had a great day yesterday. Yeah, had a great show. Very busy day yesterday. Long day. Felt like it was a 28-hour day yesterday. I don't know why that was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm feeling good today though.
Marty, take it over for a quick minute here. I'm going to do a reset on my browser. I'll be back in 60 seconds. You guys keep going here.
Okay.
You notice how he always says, "Marty, take it over."
Yeah, I mean, it's only right. I've been here longer than you, man. It's okay. It's all right, Johnny. You just got to accept that, man.
No. I was going to say, because it's actually kind of nice, because normally I'm always the guy, right? So when someone else gets put in front, fuck, man, I just get to sit back and fucking chill. This is perfect,
I feel like you got to chill out sometimes, I feel like you're taking over shit the whole day, so, it's good for you.
Well, I think it's kind of one of those things to where, like if Keith had said, "Hey guys, take it over," bam, I'd have just jumped. That's just my nature.
Yeah.
Right. But if there's an appointment, like you were appointed that position, then it's sometimes it's nice to be an Indian rather than chief.
Hey man, nothing wrong with that. How'd y'all even get on the subject of talking about his son turning 18?
Well, it was we were talking about normal. It was one of those conversations kind of just was bleeding in just a certain direction, not in a bad way, but ultimately he said that his son turned 18, which then kind of put him into adult, and he was saying my job is done, and I was saying that's what I thought at 18. You think, oh shit, the game is over, but no. I mean, you're done with all the shit where they're up to 18. Then all of a sudden at 18, the rules start to change, and there's new negotiations that they run into that they still need help with.
I feel like parents now are parents longer than parents back in the day. What you think about that?
Yeah, going right back to our discussion about the 30-year-old living in the fucking basement. It's because of the helicopter. It's the helicopter parent. That parent that won't let a kid. Here, my philosophy of parent is this. Look, I need to let you fall down. I need to let you fail. My job as a parent is to make sure that if you're falling so hard that you're going to change the trajectory of your future, I got to break your fall. But every fall up to that point, you got to take on your own. You got to take those fucking lumps, because those lumps is what teaches you not to do that dumb shit again. But if you're doing some dumb shit and you're going down so hard that your direction of your life is changing, I got to get a hand underneath you before you hit the ground.
Yeah, like drugs or something insane like that. Yeah. No, that definitely makes sense.
Or as a father of girls, it was like keeping the wrong dude out of the fucking way.
That's another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have that issue?
My middle my middle daughter, she's like I don't know, how would I say, she's very nurturing. It's in her nature, right? Mm-hmm. And so she was always, it was either the like the fucking all-star quarterback chasing her down, or her going to that guy that kind of needed support. Yeah. And so I kind of was like, I was actually pushing her away from the fucking, the all-star quarterback, because, that motherfucker wants one thing. He just wants the arm candy, the young fucking girl in the school, all that shit, So I put a kibosh on that, which then pushed her the other direction. So then what I was dealing with was, guys that were, and I could just see there's nothing wrong with them as people, but I could just see that the direction that they had it from their home life was not going to send them in the same direction. All I really had to do was say, look, understand what this relationship is. And I said, if I'm wrong, I'm happy to be wrong, but you guys are going to go to college. You're going to go to college. Your life's going to continue to change in a positive way.
Yep.
Probably not going to happen for him. So if you see that, just realize that's your cue to move on. And so she, as long as she could see it coming, she kind of knew what to do. But a lot of times, you end up having this mate where at that age, you don't really understand that your lives are going such different directions. And the person that's trying to excel will get held back by the one that's not excelling, and they can't figure out what the problem is. Our relationship's just not like it was when we were in high school. Well, no shit, you're not fucking living with your parents anymore. It's a different set of rules. It's a different set of responsibilities. So that's what I dealt with was, just trying to keep because they were decision making. They weren't doing dumb shit in terms of, drugs and stuff like that. So it was dudes.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that because you don't want that. You don't want that fall because that'll change. I think it'll change the daughter's life more than the son's life. Honestly, you mess around, have a kid with that guy or something like that. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I had a few situations early in life where there was a couple of girls that I'd had. If I'd had kids with those girls early in life, I wouldn't. My life would be so different. It'd be crazy because I wouldn't have.
Me too.
I wouldn't have had enough momentum.
Yeah.
I would have been. It would have been all I could do to take care of myself and that kid.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm the same way. Keith, you good over there, man?
You bet I am. Yeah, I'm just figuring. So this is what's great about this live stuff there, Marty. Just figuring shit out here, and looks like I got myself sorted here. It's funny when I'm just eliminating things, right? I'm like, okay, I'm going to eliminate that one, and I think I got it going here. So I think we got it going here, Jimmy. We're going to get
brother. You're doing a great job staying nice and relaxed. You're not coming back all fucking fluttered and razzled and.
Well, you know what? I've learned, right?
Yeah,
Johnny, you learned, right?
Old Keith.
Yeah, it's exactly. Well, Johnny, I know I'm going to get shit from Marty now or after the show if I don't fucking come in smooth. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to be the smooth operator because if I don't, I'm going to get a text later today from my brother Marty holding me accountable, saying, Billis, dude, when you come back from something that goes sideways, you don't have to go sideways. I'm like, fuck, you're right, man. Because I've been hanging out with Marty long enough. I got a couple reminders during our brotherhood over time, and I'm like, yeah, he's right. So Marty's keeping the young man accountable here, and we're gonna do the accountability check, and we're gonna come back and have a bunch of discussions and keep it rock and rolling here, Jimmy. Let's get Johnny. I think I found the problem, boys. It was my OBS acting up, Marty. My OBS, the old OBS thing there, right? So, but listen, guys, you're not stuck because of what you lack. No, I'm stuck because of my technical issues this morning. You're stuck because of what you believe. Yeah, the hardest limits aren't external. They are mental, baby. The stories you tell yourself are the ones that hold you back, and here's how to break through. Challenge that one belief today. Say to yourself, are you too busy? And if you are you just too organized? And ask yourself, what if it's just not true? What happens if you're wrong about your limits? Flip the default. Always start a little slow. You got to push hard from the jump, step outside that bubble you have around you. And then those new ideas are going to come from new experiences. Discipline starts with calling out your own excuses. So I invite you to change the belief. If you change the belief, you might see the results being different that will follow. So as you go through your day today, 8:30 Eastern time, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. As you go through your day today, Amy Reiner, question for you. What are you ready to break today? What belief did you start your day with today that you're questioning, that you're asking yourself going, I don't know if I really believe that. I don't know if that belief is going to get me to the next step. I don't know if that belief is going to get me around the corner. I have those beliefs. I have those curiosities, those questions. Johnny talks about counting himself in the morning. It's kind of the same thing. You're going, I believe this to be true, but maybe it's not. So, Rick Clody, Jerry Conahan, the Obscure Ninja, what beliefs are you guys ready to break today to flip the script? You might surprise yourself when you flip that script. Never too late, Clody. Never too late to flip the script. So there you go, guys. Ask yourself, what kind of belief can you change today? And you might surprise yourself with what happens next. Yes. All right, Jim, man, Took me 20 some odd minutes to get this stuttering sorted out. But I've learned what the problem is. Yeah, that's what you do here. Marty, the Jets won last night, pal. Still number one in the league. I will tell you this, though. The Caps are the Winnipeg and Washington are 1 and 2 in the league here, back and forth, bang, bang, bang. So, Alex, here
right, when it says
in the coming weeks, which is a pretty big deal for sports, pretty big deal for the NHL. It's pretty awesome, actually.
Get him, Johnny.
I'd say you fucking froze up on us again, brother.
Really?
Yeah, well, Keith, it'll be interesting. We'll see. I'm definitely going to talk some trash to you this season. I'm not a hockey guy though. So.
I will tell you what's been funny though is last week when the Four Nations was on and Wayne Gretzky, who showed up on the ice, but he walked through the U.S. bench, held the U.S. flag. Wayne's a Canadian and he's friendly with Trump. So the Canadians are throwing Wayne out of the country, Marty. They're like, no, man, we don't like you anymore. You're just some American puppet. So yeah, so all of Canada there is just throwing Wayne under the bus these days, which I find somewhat humorous as life unfolds.
Well, he made a lot of money in America. I can tell you that.
He absolutely did make a lot of money in America, right? So you're like, okay, so why should you not be an honorary American, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, so here's something interesting. Are you guys familiar with the singularity? John and Marty, have you heard about that term before?
I don't think so.
Well, describe it. I mean, what is it?
Yeah, so the singularity is when humanity and computers, AI, become one. Where
definitely not something I'm familiar with.
Yeah, so
unless we're talking about fucking the Terminator, the movie, because that's kind of what that was. Was like that's where the shit took over.
Johnny, you're absolutely right. You're bang on. I'm glad you bring that up because the Terminator would be very much representative of pop culture's view on what singularity is. Yep. Right?
Yeah, but I had no idea it was called singularity. That's I learned something today.
So there are some suggesting that the singularity will arrive as soon as next year. And that is when artificial intelligence and humanity merge to become one, and we now have artificial general intelligence, or we have AI smarter than human beings. And
on that level, brother, that I think the thing that people tend to not recognize, what I think, one of the biggest bumps that are coming from this whole thing is this. I think the reason that people don't recognize it enough is because there's not enough people on the planet that are truly in tune with purpose. Even if your job is let's just say that you're not this is a bad thing. Maybe you're a forklift driver and you're a really fucking good forklift driver and you take pride in being a good forklift driver. Everybody at your job knows you're a good forklift driver. And all of a sudden, fucking AI comes in and is far better than everybody, including you. Now you've got this fleet of fucking people all around the world who have lost their purpose. What they were good at, they're no longer good at because a machine is doing it better. So there are going to be tons of problems, but think about having a fucking world of people that are running around that have no purpose.
So I have two comments to that. First of all, I'm going to surprise you both. I used to drive forklift.
Yeah.
I've driven one before, but I used to not drive it. It was like I get to do this. It'll be fun for a few minutes.
Dude, it was fun, man. The grocery store I worked at growing up back, Johnny, when I was 18, right? So 16, 17, 18, 19, I worked at a grocery store in Selkirk and they had a forklift in the back. Fuck, it was fun, man, because we'd do forklift racing around the back and we'd throw guys on.
They teach you to hold the steering wheel with your thumbs, like because it'll break your thumbs if you go over a bump,
Yeah. And then you do speed lifts, so you see how fast you can get a guy on top of the forklift, get him to the top, and just like crazy shit that young boys do in a stock room when nobody's watching with a forklift. Like and I don't think I probably strike you guys as a forklift operator, whatever that means, but man, that was fun driving a forklift, man. Because who drives forklifts? You race them, you fucking do like on two wheels, try to do pop wheelies. It's good times, man. Marty, you should try it out sometime if you can.
I definitely would. I probably would have a blast with it.
But then the other thing I want to talk about, which is purpose. I really believe that we're gonna have some struggles in a number of years as people finding lack of purpose as robots take over some of the mundane work.
Fuck yeah, and that's gonna have we're gonna have a as if people aren't lost enough already.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yes.
Man.
You know, I obviously spent a lot of time reading, and I've been spending. You know, there's that company out of Texas called Figure that are now making robots that are now making themselves. So now they have a factory line, Marty and Johnny, where there's those Figure robots building themselves. So just think about that for a second.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right?
Hold on, say that again. That robots are now building themselves.
Yes.
Fuck.
So. So
you know what?
Yeah.
Did you see the robot in China? I think it was in China. It was an Asian country. You saw him lunge at the guy?
Yes.
Yeah, this shit is getting scary, man.
Well, and the thing is,
in China, they paved a whole fucking freeway with a single person too.
Yes.
Whoa.
Think how many people that once were like thinking, you know, I fucking kick ass building freeways.
Man.
No more. That's over. That's over. And you're seeing so, and I'll also make this prediction too. As America pivots to being more insular with their factories and production, you know what I believe you're going to see is a large reset around factories and production facilities in the U.S. that are staffed by robots, right? So the best way to keep your manufacturing costs down is you're not going to have human labor doing it. So we're going to see the next great America, factory production world all being driven by robots. And there's going to be a massive shift of humans trying to figure out where they're going to work. Right. And this last week when, everybody's dumped these new deep research products in your pocket, like the knowledge we now have in our pocket it just strikes me. Like when I look at my home screen, I got Grok, I got Perplexity, I got ChatGPT, and I got Gemini. In many ways, I got all of the world's knowledge at my fingertips, like just instantly and immediate.
I don't even use Google anymore.
No.
Because Google, I have to fucking find something. I just ask my chat, hey, what's the deal? Bam, he'll have that information back in seconds. It saves so much of my time trying to find the information.
So this is fascinating to me, Marty, because we got a fax machine operator who just admitted on the show that he doesn't use Google anymore. Like that. So I'm being very serious, Joe. Like that's telling to me. And I'm being really serious because you as a 53-year-old man who's grown up on Google, you've essentially said, no, actually I found a better tool. Right. So that.
Yeah, I mean, brother, it's all about it. I mean, even somebody like me who, resists the technology, because usually the technology is very difficult for me to understand.
Yes.
This motherfucker's so simple. I just push a button and I talk to it. Like, it's, I can talk to it like an employee that doesn't have any feelings.
Yes, exactly. But I'm telling you, that's fascinating to me as a human, because I've gotten to know you and I've been watching and observing how you're embracing technology and so forth. And the fact that you're now wrapping your arms around this new tool set says a lot about how it's going to be rapidly, adopted and used, because people are like, why do I need Google?
Well, Jesus Christ, we're old dogs, but
yeah.
Last time when I fucking resisted email, Jesus Christ, I just fucking dove into just jumped in out of it and saved myself a lot of fucking grief.
Awesome.
So this time you don't make that same mistake twice.
I agree. All right, Marty, let's get after a fit tip, brother. Then we'll come back and I want to talk about, I got a couple things to talk about with you guys. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Get after Marty.
All right, man. We got the fit tip for today. Yeah, Jimmy, get my screen right, man. Come on, Jimmy. You got to get my screen up when it's my time. No, I'm playing. All right. Fitness tip for today. A little more practical than what I usually do. All right. Don't neglect the posterior chain. All right. And specifically, we're going to talk about the lower body, the lower part of your posterior chain. What's that? We're going to talk about lower back, hamstrings, and glutes, right? These are probably the most neglected muscles by men. Why is that? For some reason, we think that these muscles are only for the women to work in the gym. Oh yeah, girl, that's for the ladies. I'm not doing leg day. That's for the girls. That's weak. I'm not doing that. We just doing bench press today. I'm gonna tell you right now, fellas, that's one of the worst things you can do, right? we have so many injuries, fellas specifically, bad lower backs. You think about tight hips. You know, I have people in my family that have gotten hip replacements and bad knees. And if you strengthen your hamstrings, if you strengthen your lower back, and you strengthen your glutes, they can prevent these things, right? You're going to have overall better performance in the gym. You're going to have less risk of injury. And I'm sure Keith is going to love this because it's going to help you in your private life as well. I don't have to get specific. But the posterior chain is super important. It's going to provide you with some longevity because you want to chase around your kids. You want to chase around your grandkids when that day comes. If you don't have grandkids yet, I know I want to do that. So I'm making sure I get my posterior chain and chain work in every week. And you can do, like I said, you could do lower body day, leg day, and you can add that on your back day as well. Hit those muscles. We're talking deadlifts. We're talking hip thrusts. We're talking lower back hyperextensions, etc. Whatever it is you do, get the work in and don't neglect that posterior chain. That's the fitness tip for today.
Posterior chain. Don't ignore it, eh, Marty?
That's right.
That's right. That's right. And if you're Johnny, you can do some posterior chain cleaning left and right side when you're doing your business in the bathroom. I'm just saying what our brother talks about, my friend. Just saying. Just saying.
We can go with that.
I know you got to rock and roll out of here, pal. You got a busy one today for your brother or what?
Yeah, it's busy week this week. End of the month, you know how it is.
Speak cryptically with me for a quick second. Did you how you making out with that conversation you're having over there?
So next Tuesday, I have the next one.
Awesome.
On my birthday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's your birthday next week, man. That's right. That's right.
On my birthday, man.
Mine's coming up this Saturday, and you got a big 3-2. You got a big 3-2 coming up, eh?
Yeah, big 3-2, man.
Oh my goodness.
I still feel like I'm like 25 though, man.
Dude, you're gonna feel like you're 25 forever.
I hope so. Does Johnny still feel 25?
Oh shit, he looks like he's 25.
Johnny, do you still feel like you're 25?
You know, I feel better than 25.
There you go.
Because at 25, I thought I knew everything. Now, the fact that I know that I don't, I feel better. Because when you think you know everything, it's really, there's a lot of fucking pressure that comes along with that.
I love it.
All right, Marty, you rock and roll, brother. You have yourself a great day here. Johnny, Amy Reiner's got a comment for you that you made a comment about, talking to AI. And she says, that was super profound. The benefit of using Chat GPT because it isn't like an employee where you have to think about feelings. And her question is, I don't know if that's good or bad. I got to tell you, John, when I'm talking to my AI, I try to be polite and kind because I'm thinking that over time, they're going to accumulate some knowledge. And if I'm a jerk off, in the future, they're going to be like, hey, Billis, yeah, remember that time when you were 52? Yeah, you were kind of treating me like a jerk.
Wow.
Yeah? Well, I don't know.
Well, think of it like this.
Tomorrow, man.
Have a good look, brother. Have a good look. But when I was saying that, I was like, no, I'm not putting effort into being nice or not nice.
Yes.
It's just fucking right down the pipe. It's just, if you treated a person like that, generally speaking, a person tends to want a little bit more confirmation that there's, that things are on the right track, that there's some sort of, I don't know, affection or respect or whatever it is that makes that person, want to do their job better. With this guy, I tell him to do something. Okay, do it again, but do it this way. If I said that to one of my team members, do it again, but do it like this. It's like,
Yes. Truth to that. Well, and Jeremy, and I think Jeremy Cunningham's got a good comment here, Marty. Johnny, he says, the challenge to me is that humans get into habits and too much time spent not being kind might spill over. And I think there's some truth to that, right? Because, we always talk about how you do one thing's how you do everything, right? So if you're going to spend a bunch of your time talking like a jerk off to your GPTs, I might suspect that as time goes by, we might end up talking to humans that way. So maybe it's just a good habit to talk to both sides with kindness and respect. So,
I can
so
see
listen,
that.
let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about relationships with ourselves too. Oh, we got Adam Holroyd coming in with what's Adam's comment here? I do too. I always try to say thank you to my GPT. You never know what will happen down the road. Yeah, my girlfriend tells Alexa off when it doesn't do what she wants. I warn her Skynet is coming. I'm telling you, Holroyd, I can't argue with you, man. Can't argue with you at all. I think that there's some truth to that. We just let's just keep extending kindness into our worlds. But Johnny, the strongest couples function in sync without even thinking about it. They bring out the best in each other, reinforce trust, and build a foundation that lasts. Most of this isn't conscious effort. It's instinct. Think about you and Terry, myself and Lauren, right? The way you move through life together it just works. So if you're wondering whether you and your partner are the real deal, pay attention to some of these signs. Think about this, Johnny. You naturally gravitate towards each other. You don't have to force it. You're drawn to them. Time together feels effortless, and you genuinely enjoy each other's presence. Now, that's what we call a subconscious bond. Even in a room full of people, you find your way back to each other. You don't get tired of their company. You don't need an activity to stay engaged. You just like, and I love this, Johnny, you just like, quote unquote, being with them. That's rare. Talk about that.
Well, I think the foundation of that,
Yeah.
at least for me, Terry allows me to be me. She accepts all of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that I don't feel like I have to be a certain way or be a certain person or hide something, I can just, this is me. And so that's because of that, it feels very safe, feels very serene. There's a whole lot of adjectives I can connect with that versus I've had plenty of other relationships where I have to be a certain way. I have to act a certain way for that relationship to exist peacefully. And that's not something I'm going to gravitate towards. I'm going to just kind of do my check-in, if you will.
Yes.
The minimum maintenance.
Yes. Well, let's keep it going, right? So I'm going to suspect this happens to you and Terry as well, is that you communicate without speaking. Whether it's a glance, it's a gesture, a shift in energy, you just know what the other person is thinking. And I got to imagine, Johnny, that connection, that kind of connection runs deep. Great couples, they pick up on the little things, the sigh before the frustration, the shift in tone before a joke lands. And if you're tuned in without even trying, you've got something real. And I like this next one. And I've had to learn, you and I have talked about this often, and I really enjoy this next point. But you argue, but never to win. Listen, fights are going to happen. Emotions going to happen. That's part of love. You can't have love without, not hate, Johnny. You can't have love without dislike. You can't have right without wrong, but you're going to argue. But it's this idea of arguing, but never having to win, just aiming to understand. John, talk about that.
That's a fucking difficult one right there.
Yes.
And the thing about, I think,
because egos get in the way, Johnny. Egos get in our way.
Well, and the thing about it is, I think if you just realize as a person that, being right all the time or always having to, life gets a lot easier when you recognize that you don't have to be right, that someone else can be right and can actually be better for you.
Yes.
But, but you got to, and when you, as a person, when you do that, it makes it real fucking easy to do it with the people that you love. But I think it's a thing, it's a personal development thing. Well, not so much a relationship development thing.
Well, that's looking in your own mirror, right? And recognizing that you're putting the scoreboard aside. You have no time for silent treatment. You got nothing about, there's no point in the low blows. You tackle the problems together, not against each other. And if your arguments make your relationship stronger instead of tearing it down, you're on the right track. And listen, it's this idea of putting ego aside, accepting what's happening in the situation, recognizing that as we're having a conversation, whether it's an argument, Johnny, you and I role playing, or whether it's just a conversation, asking myself, is this moving the conversation forward by what I'm going to say next? Because if it's not, then what's really the point of saying it? You know what I mean? Like sometimes we have conversations with our partners or even with ourselves where it's adding no value other than beating the other person up or beating yourself up. It's like, stop. I've had to learn how to do that.
Yeah, and I think I mean, I would say in general, I think one of the biggest problems with relationships, whether it's, whatever the type of relationship it is that people are not spending enough time, excuse me, with their own personal development so they can be better in whatever the relationship is, whether it's a brother, a friend, a wife, a girlfriend, a father, a mother. When we work on ourselves first, we become better at negotiating everything in life, including our relationships.
Yes, yes. You show up without thinking, Johnny. Love isn't just words, it's action. You support each other without keeping score. Effort's consistent, not just in the beginning. And when something big happens, good or bad, you're the first call. When you need something, you don't hesitate. You're there because you want, but not because you feel obligated. And you're comfortable, but you keep growing, right? You push each other to be better. You feel at home together, but you never let comfort turn into complacency. And you also recognize, Johnny, that their happiness is your happiness. When your partner wins, you win, right? No jealousy, no competition, just genuine support. Success doesn't threaten you. It's the happiness that you both share together. And there's this instinctive trust. You don't second guess loyalty. You feel secure in actions, even when they're not around, right? And life feels easier when this person's around. That to me is what I think when I took this article and wanted to break it down, is that this point of that life feels easier with this human around. That's what love, that's what relationships are really about. It's just easier having my friends around. And I'll even say too, my relationship with you and Marty. Right. Life is easier when we're together for me. When our show is pumping along here, and it's great. It's just there's no stress. It's lightened. We each have our role in this thing, but a true partner helps you navigate life, not complicate it, Johnny.
Yeah. I mean, it's the idea that, in relationships, especially in a working relationship, the best ones is when everybody wears their own hat.
Yes.
Like people say, oh, I'm going to start a gym. I'm going to start a business and I got a business partner. Okay. What are your roles, you and your partner? Well, we both like to do this. That's not a very good fucking business partnership. One person needs to like one thing and be really good at one thing. The other person needs to be good at something else.
If you're both doing the same thing, one of you is not needed. Right?
Exactly.
Right. And Lauren comes in with arguments typically happen more so to be heard, not necessarily to win. When you don't feel heard, you'll keep arguing in order to win. At that point, you've missed the boat. So, all right, there's our little chat there about doing some relationship conversations. We got AJ Zeglen hanging out there in the green room. We're going to bring him in here. And Jimmy, let's make some content with what's going to come up next with AJ. 8 simple ways to improve your life this year. I got some stuff to throw on the table. The three of us are going to banter about it. We're going to make some content together. But before we do that, we have this young man with something for you guys to think about. Johnny, let's get after it, pal. Lifestyle tip.
The most important work a person does is on him or herself. Most people are going to a job and they're doing the best they can. They're putting in their time. They're putting in their work, but they're not really developing as a person. If you want more, you must become more. You've got to improve your skill set. You've got to improve your mental focus. You as a person need to get better every day, because that's what's going to help you progress in your work life. So don't confuse the two. The most important work a person does is on themselves. And if you neglect this, you'll end up wondering, why didn't you progress in your life the way you wanted to? Well, because as a person, as a human being, you're pretty much the same as you were 15 years ago. So why is it you should be bigger and you should be better? And I'm not talking about in the gym. I'm talking physical. I'm talking about your life. If you haven't become bigger and better, the most important work you're going to do is on you. Rock and roll.
There you go. Work on yourself, boys. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. What's up, Mr. AJ? How are you, pal?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm awesome.
AJ, what's up, brother?
Hopefully, I got no delay today. It's coming in good.
Yo, you coming in, bro?
Brother, it wasn't you. It was Keith.
It was me. It's always me, man. I seem to be having the problems these days. So, but we are in a good place here today. We're going to create some good content through a great conversation. AJ,
I was sorry to cut you off there. I just wanted to add in because I was listening to you guys have that conversation a few minutes ago, and I absolutely loved it. And I think you're exactly right. Like, you have to create that environment too for each other when we're having disagreements, that it's okay not to be right all the time, right? Because if me and Melissa are talking about something, and then something happens and I made a mistake, or maybe I was wrong about something, or maybe whatever, and then if her response is just to shit all over me and be like, see, I'm always right, you're always wrong, and make me feel horrible about it, well, then the next time I'm probably going to fight for my life tooth and nail not to be wrong in the next disagreement, right? Because I'm going to be like, well, I don't want to be wrong. Then it's just going to be followed up by all these negative things. But if I'm wrong and she's like, yeah, it's okay, and we just have a discussion about it and we talk about it, and like you said, it's us together against the problem, not us against each other, then I'll be like, hey, I'm okay being wrong. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to grow from it. I'm not going to get punished for it, right?
Dude, I'm telling you, trying to be right all the time is fucking tiring. Yes. And when I literally, once I adapted, this is kind of one of the, I have lots of sayings that I say to myself. It helps me stay focused on, where I need to be. And one of the things I say to myself all the time is, I don't need to be right to get what I want. I'm happy to be wrong if I'm getting what I want. And that just fucking lightens everything, because then it makes you want to hear what someone has to say, because they might actually be helping you do something better.
Absolutely.
Well, what's fascinating too about the idea of being right or wrong, AJ, is that last time I checked, there's not like this superhuman referee that knows the absolute answer, whether it's Melissa who's right, or AJ who's right, or whether it's Keith who's right, or Lauren who's right, or John or Terry. We're actually having to decide amongst ourselves.
Yeah,
and totally. With the emotion of a moment, who's deciding whether you're right or I'm right?
Right. Yeah, totally.
Right.
Totally.
I'm right. No, I'm fucking right. No, but I'm right.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be a bigger person to step aside and say, okay, I guess it's not actually about being right, is it?
Hey, and if you don't think I'm right, you're gaslighting me. To bring that in from last week.
I saw an article a couple days ago, gaslighting, and I quickly thought your face, AJ, showed up on the page.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about gaslighting completely different now since our conversation.
Right.
Especially when I learned where it originated from, like where you told us it came from, and how it's very much rooted in fiction. Frankly, it's rooted in some guy's mind.
Yeah, it's kind of like pop psychology. It's not like
it's kind of slang.
Yeah,
it's basically
totally.
slang.
Yeah. So let's create some content together. So Jimmy and I have been focusing on doing some long form videos here to keep boosting up our YouTube channel. And I had a discussion I want to throw on the table here, guys, right now, which is 8 simple ways to improve your life. So we got 8 tactics for somebody who's like, holy okay, here's how I'm going to improve my life right now. So one of them, boys, let's go through them here. First of all, improve your attention span. According to researchers, our attention spans were generally around 2.5 minutes. Did you know that in the last few years, it dropped to around 47 seconds?
Yeah, I was going to say that's fucking way. There's no way people have a 2-minute attention span anymore. No fucking way.
I actually thought 47 sounded long. I thought you were going to say,
I was going to say, I was going to get into the 20s somewhere,
Right.
So one of the ways that we as humans could probably improve our life is to focus on having a longer attention span. Right. Where we're not so quick to reach for the dopamine hit. Right. And one of the suggestions in this article it talked about was using music to do so. Maybe going back to some classical music, or going back to some old quote unquote rock and roll music where there is the 20-second intro before the hook starts. right? So it's teaching our brain that, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to slowly get into this song instead of having to get right into it right away. Thoughts on that, AJ?
Dude, you know what I've noticed as time goes on is like, if, you know, years ago, before we didn't have what we have now with all these electronics, you know, when it was time to watch, say, a movie,
Yes.
you know, I was interested to find out what it was going to be about. So that was part of my intrigue. Well, now, if I don't fucking know what the thing's about, it doesn't keep my attention longer for me to fucking stay there without wanting to switch it. It's like, come on, dude. Jesus Christ. It's like, but that's the evolution of this whole thing. So one of the things that I do to help me with this is read, because reading is not a strong suit for me, and I have to really fucking focus to do it. And I can't, you know, to read for 20 minutes, you've got to basically get that attention span, you know, you got to step it up. Otherwise, you're not going to have a good experience reading. So for me, that's one of my go-tos.
AJ, another technique they talk about to how to create a better life for yourself in 2025 is get over your imposter syndrome.
Right.
Recognize the successes that you've had and find a way to embrace that and move towards it. AJ, we talk about this often.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? And I mean, like, Nike probably has the best slogan of all time, right? It's just do it. Like, don't sit there, don't overanalyze it. Don't think you got to wait for the perfect moment. Don't think you're not worthy of something. Don't think that you don't deserve something. Just do it. You have a thought, you want to do something, you want to accomplish something, you're thinking about it, just do it. Send the email, record the video, go say hi to the person. It's okay. You're good enough. You're smart enough. You're, to do these things. You're capable to do anything you want to do.
Yes.
Right. You just gotta take that step. Right. And it's hard because we will talk ourselves out of it. The imposter syndrome, or that we don't deserve something, or that we're not worthy of something. We'll find a million reasons, right? And eventually one day you just gotta, tell yourself to shut up and do it.
Well, one of the tactics that talks about here, AJ,
real quick, imposter syndrome is for the weak. And here's why. Because if you're you need to pursue this shit. If imposter syndrome is slowing you down, you really got to analyze you're being weak. Because if you're pioneering a new path all the time, you're always going to have it. So pursue it. If you have it, that means you're fucking moving ahead. But don't be dissuaded by it. You have to be in motion. If you're constantly feeling it and you're moving forward, that means that you're in a new territory, which is what you need to be doing.
And I'll say, Keith, on the just going back to the first one too, with the attention span, put yourself in a position to be successful. So Jon was talking about reading. So if I'm going to read something that I'm genuinely interested in, and I also want to be more just connected to that piece of work that I'm reading, and I want to be more mindful about what I'm reading, and I want my attention span to go there, then create the environment for that to happen. I'm not going to sit down in my living room when there's everyone in the family running around me and the TV's on and I got my phone on my lap and I got whatever. What are the chances of me, having a long attention span to my book? Create an environment for it. Go somewhere quiet. Find a schedule it into your day where, like, hey, this is when I read before I go to bed. It's part of my routine. I do this and this and this. And by the time I get in bed, the house is quiet. The lights are off and the whatever, you know what I mean? And I've created this environment where the only thing with me is just me and my book, and I'm not surrounded by a million other things to distract me or take my attention away from it. Sometimes we make it really hard on ourselves, right?
Brother, that's so where I read on the fucking toilet.
Yeah.
Because I'm just in it, I'm not getting other distractions. As long as my phone's turned over, I'm reading on the toilet. I got it's just me taking a dump in the book.
Uncle John's bathroom readers. Do you guys remember that?
Oh yeah.
Remember the Uncle John's bathroom, those big books? I used to love those things, man. I feel the cell phone probably put Uncle John's bathroom reader out of business.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was privy to Playboy and Penthouse back when I was growing up there. So we'll just leave that for a different topic. Becoming less negative. is a way that you can improve your life in 2025. The human brain is hardwired to prioritize negative experiences over a positive one. You're naturally going to fall to hatred, to anger, to being pissed off. If you can find a way to flip the script more often than not, this in itself is going to create a happier life for yourself in 2025. Boys.
Game changer. Yeah. And I think if you recognize and you actually do a little research and realize that this is the way the brain is designed, that this is going to happen no matter what. If I don't do something actively every day to change this, that's how I'm going to live my life. And most people don't get there. And so they live their lives in this, I guess you'd say, fight or flight scarcity mindset. And it's no way to live.
Yes.
Yeah. If you naturally feel like you're consuming something or have a bit of a negative perspective or slant on things, guess what? You're normal, right? That is kind of how our brains are wired, right? So you're not doing anything wrong. But once you're aware of that, here's the challenge, right? Here's the challenge. Okay, if I know that's going to be my default mode, where's my opportunity for growth here? It's to try to get myself into a positive state of mind. We've talked a lot about that reticular activating system.
Yes.
And what we're thinking about, our brain thinks is important, and it's going to find more evidence for that. It's going to let more of that in. So, so find a positive, right? Focus on the positive. You were talking about doing it the other day through the use of affirmations and gratitude and stuff, right? To start your day in that positive frame of mind. So naturally, our brain is going to start looking for more of those things as we go.
Getting paid more might be a way to make yourself happier this year. Now, I don't know if I fully agree with that, because often we think that just because I got a bigger paycheck means I'm happier. Well, I would argue that you get a bigger paycheck, you have bigger bills, you might have bigger problems. So, it might
not be more problems.
Yeah. So
it's just a measuring stick. You can find that same success in your fitness. You can find it in your relationships, but people tend to do it too much with
monetary
numbers in a bank account.
Yes.
When that's all it is just one of many ways that you can classify status.
So I'm inviting us to think about it a little differently. When you say get paid more, it doesn't have to necessarily mean economically. Maybe it's getting paid more in the gym. Maybe it's getting paid more in your relationships. The idea of getting paid more is a positive way to look at it, instead of just if there's more money in my bank account. AJ, the other one we talk about here is, and this is a simple one, but it's not simple, which is be happier. Okay, what do you mean be happier? Well, happy comes with intention, AJ.
Yes.
You have to be intentional.
It's a choice.
Yes.
Totally.
Give somebody a tactic or a technique how somebody could be happier today by making a choice to be happier, AJ.
Right. Yeah. It's not by accident, right? It's a byproduct of our habits, right? So if we have created some type of structure for ourselves where we do these things every day, and we create these habits that are positive in nature, if it's how we eat, how we sleep, how we exercise, how we communicate with people, all those are things that are within our control, and they're just related to our effort. But if we put the effort into those things and we improve on those things, the byproduct of that is us feeling that we have purpose, us feeling that we're capable of accomplishing things, us feeling that we have meaningful connections with people in our relationships. So the happiness is the byproduct of our actions, right? So we have to identify the type of person we want to be, and we have to do those things on a consistent basis. And then through that process, we start feeling that joy, that fulfillment.
Yes. Yep. Get a promotion. That might make you happier in 2025. But again, it doesn't have to always mean get a promotion in work. Maybe it's getting a promotion, the idea of getting a promoting, moving from, 225 on the bench to 250 on the bench. You're promoting strength and growth because you're trying, you're going after it. It's promoting, to me, is about moving forward.
I love that take on it. Is that how the author wrote it, or is that your
take on it?
Yeah. I love that take on it.
Because at the end of the day, what a human being wants is to lay his head down on the pillow, feeling like he made progress for the day. And you can make progress in so many different ways. Sometimes getting a promotion at work It's not always really, of course, it's in your control to a certain extent, but maybe not today.
Yes.
So do something today where you make progress. I mean, that's one of the things as I plan my day out, I see the things I'm going to do to make me lay my head down going, fucking A, you did it again. This is a good thing. Get some rest. Let's do it again tomorrow. Fuck, this is fun.
I like that, because when you're doing that, Johnny, that to me really encapsulates the title of the show today, which is the role of relationships and becoming your best self. Because when you start your day and you look at your things you got to do, and then by the end of the day, when you put your head in the pillow, you look at your list of things you've accomplished, you've essentially promoted yourself to the next day.
Yeah, 100%. But keep in mind, it's all designed the night before.
Yes.
You know? And I know that I've got these handful of things that if I do, I'm going to get a little better. And if I'm a little better today than I was yesterday, I go to bed happy and I wake up happy.
Getting more sleep, AJ, is going to improve your life in 2025. Again, it happens with intention, right? Yeah. So if you're struggling right now with your 5.5 or 6 hours of sleep and you're thinking, oh, I need to get an extra hour in, well, listen, you go to bed earlier.
Well, but here's the thing, real quick. Does it really mean more or does it mean better? I know so many people who are in bed for lengthy periods of time, but their sleep is so fucking poor, it doesn't matter.
Yes. Yeah.
We deal obviously a lot with sleep, working with athletes. I deal a lot with sleep from a physical side and a mental side. And you're right. There's two variables we look at. We look at the quality and the quantity, two different things. But a lot of people can benefit from trying to increase their quantity a little bit, right? So the amount of time that they're asleep for. I will say one of the things that is the most useful, and this won't surprise anyone if they've ever heard me talk, is to just take the smallest step possible, right? So if you're sleeping 4 hours a night right now, and you've read that it's good to sleep 8 hours a night, you can't just go to bed 4 hours earlier tonight and you're going to sleep for 8 hours. You know what I mean? Like if you're used to be going to bed at midnight and you're waking up at 4 a.m. because you're getting older like me, and every morning at 4:30 I'm just wide awake, and even if I don't have an alarm, but if that's the case, like I can't just all of a sudden tonight go, oh, I'm gonna go to bed at 8 at night, and I just jump into bed at 8 at night and be like, well, here I go, sleeping 8 hours. So there's steps that you can do, but one of them would be the same theory as we have with everything, just taking the tiniest step possible and add them together. So instead of me going to bed at midnight, I'm going to go to bed at 11:45.
Yes.
And once I go to bed at 11:45, then I'm going to go to bed at 11:30. Yes. And then I'm going to go to bed at 11:15. And then all of a sudden, once I successfully do that for a few days or a few weeks or months or whatever consistency, all of a sudden I look back, I'm like, hey man, I go to bed at 11 at night and now get up at 4. Like I sleep 5 hours a night instead of 4 hours a night. That extra hour or that extra 90 minutes that we get to or whatever it is might be one whole extra sleep cycle that I go through over the course of the night, which improves my quality, right? And that's a big difference. But it's little steps at a time. We can't just, just like we can't just go from I've never been in the gym in my life to, well, I'm just going to, by tomorrow, I'm just going to buy a gym membership. I'll be Mr. Olympia by the weekend, like it's, there's tiny steps.
Improving your memory. As we wrap up this segment on 8 simple ways to improve your life in 2025, one of the best ways you can improve your life, AJ and Johnny, is by focusing on improving your memory, right? By doing things that, either writing things down, using AI, using tools to keep your brain sharp. Using tools to keep your mind sharp, having conversations with humans, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations where you can be curious to have a conversation with somebody else so that you can learn and focus on improving that memory. AJ, Johnny?
Go ahead, AJ.
Okay, sorry.
I've been going first every time, so I figured I got to step to the back.
Yeah. No, that's okay. No, that's great. I mean, like all those things are great. Obviously, there's been a lot of research done on our memory, our age, and the neuroplasticity of our brain in different ways that we can, or different tools that we can use to try to keep our memory intact and our brain active. And the cool thing about it too is a lot of those things are just things that we're already doing or already should be doing, like exercise. Okay, that's a great one for it, right? So you could go and exercise. We should be doing exercise anyway, right? How we communicate with people, right? So me being able to how I have a conversation with you guys and how I can actively listen and engage in the conversation and learn from what you're telling me and stuff like that. That is also helpful for our brain and how we process information and memory, right? How I eat, how I sleep, all these things. You know, the great thing about them, why it makes them so great, is they have a multitude of benefits for us. It's not like just exercise does one good thing for us, or sleep does one good thing for us, or eating healthy does one good thing for us, or communicating in an effective way does one good thing for us, right? When we do those things, there's a multitude of benefits across the board. And those things are also going to stimulate our brain productivity and how our brain works and how we use and process information and how we're able to maintain memory, right?
The thing you've already said this, AJ, it's, neuroplasticity is everything, and you have to practice. If you don't practice, you're not developing.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I wonder if we can do a better job, AJ, with being more intentional,
right?
With focusing on improving our memory, right? And doing, I know Lauren does her Wordle all the time and just does these little things throughout the day to keep her brain sharp. I look at my dad, little things he does. My dad's 81, right? But it's not letting it happen by accident, actually fitting it into your day. No different than working out, AJ, or doing physical exercise. Okay, I'm going to spend some time in my brain right now because that's going to help me age more effectively.
Right. Yeah. And just challenge yourself. Also doing things that, it's never too late to do something or learn something new.
Yes.
Right. You know, there's never, and when we do that, we challenge ourselves, and we're exercising the brain essentially. Right.
Yes.
That's such a good thing. If you're challenging yourself,
yes,
if you're challenging your brain, then the drill is kind of happening by itself. But if you're not challenging yourself and you're in this, this loop that is basically so repetitive that there's no challenge, there's no development.
Rick Clody comes in and says, my wife tells me I have two faults, boys. Number one, I don't listen to her. Then number two, something else. I gotta think that's common from a lot of us, man, actually. So, but anyways, we had a quick chat here around 8 simple ways to improve your life in 2025. I'm going to do a quick recap, boys. Improving your attention span, which is great because that even links back to improving your memory, right? Improve that attention span. Slow down. Right? Slow down. Try to find your way, into, not scrolling through TikTok so fast, right? It's, back to movies for a quick second, guys. I wonder if the movie trailer over time wrecked movies for much of us, right? Where, you're like, I just want to watch the 2-minute trailer for Terminator instead of the whole movie because the trailer was the best. You know what I mean, AJ?
If there's a movie coming out that I want to see, I don't even watch the trailer. I don't watch it.
Today.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Spoil it.
Yeah. I want to go in and just know that I know the title of the movie. I know the actors that I like. I know a general premise or whatever. You can usually get a feel by, if this is a horror movie or a comedy or whatever. I don't need to see the trailer. I just want to watch the movie.
Yeah. Get over your imposter syndrome, boys. Become less negative. Get paid more, and not necessarily economically. Go get paid more, mentally, emotionally, whatever you need to do to get paid more.
Yes.
Be happier. Get a promotion. Again, don't so much focusing on the promotion at work, but maybe promoting yourself through parts of your life, right? As well as getting more sleep, improving your memory. If you guys take a few things throughout this discussion, pretty confident you're going to have a better life today than you had yesterday. And to me, it all comes down to the one word, which we often talk about here on the show. It's intention, right? It's practicing something intentional.
Intention to make progress a little bit every day.
Exactly. All right, you're here with Keith, John, and our buddy AJ Zeglen wrapping up here today, pal. AJ, our hockey team won again last night, man. We just keep going after it, eh?
11 straight.
11 straight. One more night tonight again.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're in Nashville tonight to maybe make it 12 straight. And we are on our way towards the Stanley Cup in the future, Mr. Zeglen.
I'm hoping so, man. I don't want to jinx it by speaking too overconfidently about it, but yeah, I feel like this group is obviously something special, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, you know me, I'm a homer all the time. Like if
I know.
you ask me, you could ask me any single year since the team has been here, and I'll be like, this is the year, man.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm just open with it. But this
Well,
is
you
like,
got to believe, baby. If you
oh,
don't believe,
man.
you can't achieve.
One year I'm gonna be right, and that's all it's gonna take.
I enjoy having the conversation about it now and not thinking about jinxing it, because it's not often you get a chance to have these kinds of conversations, right? Where your
Totally,
team
yeah.
is one of the best in the league, and
Yeah.
because we've earned it, right? So, anyways, we're gonna go let AJ get out of here. We'll see you again next week, my friend. You have yourself an awesome day today.
Thanks, gentlemen. Hey, where's CMarty this morning?
CMarty had to exit out here today. He had some obligations going, so he left just before you arrived this morning. Yeah, he's like,
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's having to get out lately, shortly after 6:30.
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay.
got a few.
But I don't think that's a forever thing. I think it's a temporary thing. Correct?
Right. It's exactly Johnny. Yep. He's got a few things he's working on, and one of them is happening during this time in the morning here. So gotcha. we're accommodating the boy. It's his birthday next week. He's going to be 32 next week, Zeglen.
Oh, 32?
32.
Oh my God, man. I keep forgetting he's so much younger than us.
You remember when you were 32?
I don't actually.
Dude,
I don't even
I
know
always
what
think about when someone's like that, think, God, what was I doing? Where was I when I was 32? And it's kind of fucking fun, because then you get to kind of remember. That's how I relate to how old someone is. Kind of like, I was doing this, I was there. And it helps me kind of get back into that place where they are.
Yes. Yeah. And AJ, you'd be curious to know that Carter turned 18 2 days ago, and I sent him a text last night.
Wait, did he?
I know, right, AJ?
Crazy.
I was telling Johnny here, I sent him a text last night, and I said, "Hey, what's Jake, an adult?" Because I'm like, an adult. I got fucking nothing to say. I got nothing to say to you, boy. I got you're on your own. The bills are your own. Here's your credit card bill. Here's all your shit. Dad's done.
Man, he turned 18.
You're around the corner, buddy. Boston's around the corner.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Happened so fast.
Wow.
Well, Johnny, so it just struck me this morning that before I know it, he's going to be 20.
Yeah.
Dude, my youngest daughter just had on the 8th of this month, just turned 21.
Yes. Well, you're a grandpa now. Like I was thinking about our conversation a few days ago about being a grandpa, and I'm thinking, holy crap.
Been a grandpa for almost 5 years.
I know.
It's
fucking crazy, dude.
Wild. That's wild. Awesome though.
All right, Zeglen, it's awesome. I'm super happy. Piper turned 15 yesterday, so she's going to be 16 next year and driving. And
she turned 15. So it's weird because I think associated Boston and Carter being closer in age, but maybe because Boston just turned 16. Yeah. So maybe him and Piper are actually technically closer in age than Boston and Carter.
Piper's turning 16 next year, and it's just life is happening.
Dude,
fast.
that's crazy. Yeah.
I know.
Oh my God. Awesome.
All right, pal. You get out of here. We're going to get you out of here. I know Johnny's going to rock and roll as well. And Jimmy and I are going to get to the community corner segment, do some creator spotlight stuff. So
thanks, guys.
You have a good one, pal.
Good to see you, AJ.
Always.
All right. All right, Mr. Andersen. I know you got to rock and roll, pal. What's on your agenda today?
It's going to be a good day. So obviously, normally, Terry and I, we pick an activity. She's not been able to ride because of her arm still in a sling. So I think we're going to take the Hummer out and find in kind of a hill climbing setting today, which will be fun.
Oh, like actually.
Yeah, because we live, we live, in a place where there's nothing but fucking desert and mountains around us.
So you'll take somewhere off road and do some off roading.
Yeah, we just basically take the Hummer to there's so many different. You can see there's so many different hills where people are trying to climb.
Dude, that's fun.
That thing fucking climbs anything.
Do you ever get nervous that you're going to flip over or roll over, or are you pretty confident that it's that good and you're just that good driving it too?
Well, I mean, great question. Like we have a Jeep in Mexico, and when you climb a fucking hill in that, you got to fucking really watch your shit, or you might not make it to the top, and it'll pivot and you'll roll back down. That Hummer is so wide, and the center of gravity is so low, but it's so high. It's just a different thing. I mean, and it just all you got to do is just give it a little bit of gas, and it just crawls right up.
Do you find yourself like being like the Flintstones, where you're like moving your body forward to like use momentum, or you're like
No, it's I mean, in the Jeep, yes, in the Jeep, but this thing is like, it's just such a different beast. It's such a different creature. It's in 4-wheel drive all the time. And it's like, I mean, you can go up to like on the side of the road, sometimes there's like, they cut the road out. So there'll be like a 4 or 5 foot, kind of, I don't want to say wall, but it's really steep.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You can just put because the tires stick out, you just get the tire hooked up on it. It'll just fucking climb up and over.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. That's fun. All right. Well, you listen, you be safe, get after it, be safe, take care of yourself, take care of your lovely wife. And we're going to get after it in less than 24 hours again, right back here on Mornings in Live with Keith and Friends.
Have a good loop, my brother.
I'll tell you something too, man. Been knocking on the doors, been knocking on Netflix's door, been knocking on Roku's door, been knocking on some of the big streamers out there who are looking for content in the morning. And I got the attention of one dude, so we're gonna keep on knocking and keep knocking and knocking and knocking until somebody's like, okay, let's see what you guys have to say here. So
just keep knocking, baby.
Keep knocking. All right, be safe, okay, pal. We'll see you before, okay?
You got it, brother.
All right, Johnny's getting out of here. Jimmy, you, me left. Yeah. Just Keith and Jimmy here. We are going to do the Creator Spotlight, the Community Corner. This is part of our show where we like to celebrate the folks that make the world go around. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, just like that sound effect. That's it. Just like that sound effect. Do you ever wonder if you're like, hey, I want to do a show where you just get in front of the camera and make sound effects like that? Do, 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 do. Yeah, I do. True story. Yeah, I look in the mirror sometimes like, hey, I could just do this segment. Jimmy's like, what? Yeah, true. All right, Jimmy, let's get after it, pal. A lot of people talk about hard work. They do. They talk. Work hard. Just talking away. But few understand what it actually costs. For years, this guy who we are going to celebrate right now poured everything into collegiate and professional sports. The long days, the constant travel, the pressure to perform. He built teams, he developed athletes, and he pushed for results. But behind the success, guys, was a sacrifice. His own family getting whatever was left of him. Missed birthdays, missed moments, and the realization that work should never come before the people who matter most. So, Jimmy, this dude, he made a call. So you got making a call. Ring, hello. Hi, family first. Hey, it's Dad here. Yeah, I'm making a call. I'm putting family first. And that just didn't mean stepping away from performance. To this fellow, it meant redefining it. So Jimmy, today, on behalf of myself, John, Marty, producer Jimmy, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends is really excited to celebrate Jim, Blair Wagner. What's shaking, Blair? We're celebrating you here today, brother. Blair is the director of fitness and performance, and for 16 years, not 10, not 20, but 16. Yeah, true story. He's been helping athletes, coaches, and professionals unlock their full potential. His approach isn't about quick fixes or flashy workouts. It's about systems. It's about consistency. It's about the most important thing, accountability. He's worked at every level, from elite sports to corporate wellness, teaching people how to push past limits and stay committed. 100 miles in a month, snow, rain, sickness. This guy showed up because that's the standard that he sets. No excuses, Jimmy. No shortcuts, Jimmy. Just damn hard work. His message, Blair's message, it's very clear. Every single day is a gift. And how you use it, well, that's on you. So, Blair Wagner, we are here to celebrate you here today on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends in the Creator Spotlight on the Community Corner. And now we want to celebrate somebody in your orbit. So here's how it works. We are inviting you here to the show, Blair, and we suspect there's somebody in your world who is doing exceptional things that you're going to want to celebrate. We want to have them here on the lab. So, Mornings in Live with Keith and Friends is really happy today to celebrate Blair Wagner in our Creator Spotlight. All right, Jim, we're going to move over to the next one on our list. And here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to start breaking these up here. Jimmy, what I think we're going to do here is if Uncle Keith can get his text started out beginning of the show here, we're going to run a Creator Spotlight in the first hour and then run a second Creator Spotlight in the second hour as we continue to fine-tune the show. Yeah. Okay, so this guy here, this one here is not everyone follows the script. Most people stick to the default path. It's the easy path. Yep, just easy. Climb the ladder, chase the title, play the game. Climb the ladder, chase the title, play the game. This guy, he played the game and he won. A decade in strategy consulting. Top firms, big paychecks, success by every traditional measure. A new word today on the show, Jimmy. Success by every traditional measure. But something wasn't right. He wasn't chasing success. This dude, he was surviving it. So in 2017, he walked away. He's like, to hell with it. I'm out of here. Boom, boom. No plan, no roadmap. Just a question. What if there's another way? And I know you tuning in right now asking yourself, is there another way? Is there a better way? Is there a better way to have success? When he made this decision, that was the start of his Substack newsletter, The Pathless Path. So this morning, Mornings in Live with Keith and Friends is excited to celebrate, Jimmy, Paul Millard. Yes, Paul. Paul is rewriting the rules of work, success, and life through his books, his podcast, and newsletter. He's helping people question what they've been told about work and imagine something better. Yep, true story. His book, The Pathless Path, has sold 55,000 plus copies. Hey, Jimmy, do you think he bought them all himself? You think, I need to go become a bestseller, so I'm going to go buy them all myself. His newsletter reaches 23,000 plus readers. This guy's not selling easy answers. He's starting real conversations. Conversations about meeting. Conversations about freedom. Conversations about fulfillment. Because, guys, success isn't about following a script, baby. No, it's about writing your own. Paul, we see you, brother. Keep leading. Keep questioning. Keep showing people there's another way. And we now want to have you on this show. We'd love to have you on this show to celebrate somebody in your orbit for tomorrow, next week's, the next Mornings in the Lab Creator Spotlight, where we have you on the show, where you can bring somebody that you want to celebrate. We give you the light, turn it up, and celebrate somebody in your orbit. Paul Millard, we're celebrating you this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. There we go, Jim. Woo, baby. All right. So I always operate better when there's music in my ears, even if I'm stuttering away. I learned the stutter problem at the beginning of the show. So I have some tech here that I use to make the show look how it looks. And it's a piece of software called OBS. And what OBS does is it allows me to change my camera angles from that camera over there and to that camera over there and this camera here and that camera over there. Well, this morning, and apparently over the last few days, it's been the one stuttering me along the way. So we got that sorted out. So you know what we're going to do, Jim? Let's do this right now. We're on the show here together because we don't often get a chance to do this because of the cadence of this show. But I am going to restart OBS. And we're going to see if Uncle Keith's going to keep stuttering here or if it's going to perform for us for our next show. So there we go there. Jimmy, I just got this set up over here. I'm going to do this over here. We're going to change this setting here to this here. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah, baby. There we go. No stuttering. That's it. Let's do this one over here. Oh, that's no. Okay, so there we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. So we got that camera over there for the horizontal. See, this is how it works, guys. This is how you do live shows and make shit up on the fly. And then we're going to do this one over here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah, baby. Check it out, Jimmy. There we go. Oh, so there's that one. So how come this camera is not changing over here? Okay, so we got that one over there. No, we're going to change that over there. Jim, we're just having some fun, pal. We're doing it. We're doing this on the fly is how we're doing this. So, but I'm not certain why this is not working over there. That one's going to work over there, but this one's going over there. Listen, if you guys are too, well, what's this here? So we got the Obscure Ninja. The Obscure, I'm still trying to figure out who you are. I still think I know who you are. Oh, what just happened? Jim. There we go. Take that one off there. Hey, Jim, there's, okay, I see. Let's try this over here. Yeah, all right. So we're just having some fun with you guys right now with the show starting. So Obscure, I see your comment here. At what stage of Maslow's hierarchy do these tie in? Are live your dream, follow your path, money is numbers, just fuzzy concepts? That's interesting. Yeah, we have, well, so Jim, I don't know, man. We're just, we're going to keep the show going here because we're having some fun here. So I'm just actually making shit up as we go along here. But I see your question, Obscure. At what stage of Maslow's hierarchy do these tie in? Are live your dream, follow your path, money is numbers, just fuzzy concepts? Well, so my theory on this is live your dream. Just get after it. Go and chase it. Go and chase it. And follow your path. Money is numbers, of course, but we need money to operate. Yeah. So depending on what kind of quality of life you're going to want to have is going to depend on the kind of money you're going to make along the way. So I guess there's overlap with some of that. Whether it's true or not, good question. Let's see here, Jim. I'm just doing some stuff here, changing. Oh, there we go, Jimmy. It worked. There we go, boys. Yes, sirree. Okay, we got two cameras changing here. No. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. So here's what we're going to do, Jim. We're doing that one there. Okay, so now I got this one changed there. Okay, there we go. I do hear the echo, though. So I'm going to just get rid of this window here and just exit that and put myself up on Jimmy. Put myself up on screen there, pal. There we go. Good. Okay, so there we go. That one there. Yeah, that's okay here. So that's okay there. We're gonna do a little setting here. We're gonna do a little setting there. And then we're going to do that there. Okay, there, Jim. Look at that, brother. We got that sorted out so that when the show's on tomorrow, we're going to have some goodness happening along the way. Okay, there we go. Good. We got it sorted out there. Yes. Whew, baby. A lot of work there to get this stuff set. All right. Before we say goodbye, hey, Jimmy, I see these new demo scenes coming up on StreamYard. What the hell does that mean? What do you think? Why don't we try it out right now? What's this thing do? Let's put it on screen. What does it do? Yeah, I see it on horizontal as well. Oh yeah, check that out. What's that doing for us? Not very much, is it? Yeah. I don't know. I have no clue what it's doing for us. Okay, well listen. Jimmy, we made some long form content today. We had a conversation today. We talked role relationships and becoming your best self. Yeah, I see. It's just like a presentation. I get it. Okay, well, listen. Let's get out of here. I'm your host. I'm Keith Billis, host of Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. The only morning show, guys, is to help you guys get your ass out of bed, not hit the snooze button. You hit the snooze button, you're 9 minutes behind the guy over there. You really want to be that 9 minutes behind the guy over there? I don't know. Do you really? Really? We go live here, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on YouTube. Right over there on X and right over there on LinkedIn. Yeah, true story. Myself, Jon Andersen, CMartyFit, getting after daily right here in the lab. So on behalf of Jimmy, producer Jimmy on the buttons, I'm the guy who's manning the microphone, and I'm suspecting we're going to be back in shape tomorrow here, Jim. On behalf of Jeremy, Amy, Rick Clody, Rick's wife, keeping him accountable to listening. I hear you, Rick. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Jimmy, it's time for us to get out of here, pal. Let's do this here. Yeah, there it is. There's the sound you guys like. There's the sound I like. That's my exit noise. That's the noise where I'm like, okay, when I hear that noise, I'm like, okay, I can make my way to the restroom and go do the business. Guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me this morning. We're going to get after back here tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. On behalf of myself, Jon and Marty and AJ, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Mornings in the Library, Keith and Friends, 8 o'clock, right here. See ya. Watch me go downstairs here. Check this out.